I'm going to start out by apologizing for the sound quality today. The wind is absolutely horrible. It is about 20 miles an hour average and gusts to over 40, so I'm sure this isn't going to be very high audio quality. What I plan on doing, well, first of all, if you go back to episode 101, and you should probably go back and watch that. In that episode, I made biochar out of my own homemade charcoal and then algae that I collected from my pond. And I've been adding algae to my wheelbarrow full of charcoal pretty much all winter long, or since I've made that video anyway. So my question is, does it work? And I really don't know. I was inspired to make it by watching a video by a Canadian company that makes it commercially. If I can end up finding a link to them, I'll include that below. I don't know that I can. But what I plan on doing is, this is the garden bed that I will be raising my miscellaneous stuff in. I'll be growing tomatoes, peppers, snow peas, carrots, radishes, and some spinach. And then on that edge, I will actually put in some cucumbers and allow them to grow on vines, and probably some beans too. And then on this edge, I'm going to grow melons, both cantaloupe and watermelons, and I'll just let them grow out onto the grass here. The only thing that I can reasonably do to test this stuff is essentially make a line right down the middle. Most of my rows are going to be planted in a north-south direction, so we'll find out, does the south half do better than the north half? Now, because of shading, I guess it could do a little bit better, but these will be mostly low-growing plants, so hopefully there'll be some indication at the end of the season that this stuff either works or it doesn't. If it works, that's wonderful. I'm really into anything organic that will improve the garden, but if it doesn't, why waste my time doing it, is kind of the way I look at it. So I'm going to try to treat everything as equally as possible. When I get all my watering stuff set up for the dry season, if that does come, I'll try to make sure everything gets watered equally and that sort of thing. We'll get started here by raking back all the wood chips. Then I'm going to bring in my wheelbarrow and scatter the charcoal, like I say, on the south half of this bed. And I might rake it in just a little bit, just so it's in that top bit of soil. And then I'm going to go ahead and plant my cool season crops today. Okay, so you don't have to listen to the wind. I'm not going to do an awful lot of talking today. I'll record all the video, and if I do make comments and they sound too bad when I get to listening to them, I'll probably add in some written comments too. Here goes. I'll see if I can escape the wind noise a little bit by closing this out right up here on the edge of the barn. I finished getting all the cool weather crops planted, and I even went ahead and planted a half a dozen potatoes. Now, when I was digging down there or putting in the seeds, I found a couple of volunteer potatoes that were coming up, just about to break through the doggone wood chips from last year. So I figured it's probably time. So I went ahead and planted half a dozen potato seeds. Now, the one huge mistake that I made last year was to plant potatoes here, plant and harvest them here like I do in Colorado, and that just didn't work at all. I plant in Colorado around the 10th of May, which is about what I did here, and then harvest for Thanksgiving dinner. And by the time I got them harvested last year, they were wormy, they were starting to rot. I waited just way too long, and I wish that I'd have planted earlier too. So what I found is around here they usually plant the end of March and then harvest in July. So that's kind of what I'll shoot for doing this year too. So I think what I'll do is, to let you know if this is working or not, I will maybe try to do some photographs and maybe some real short videos every month or so, every time that I see a good change, and see if there's any difference developing between the south half and the north half of the garden box. Now, I did spread some charcoal on the south half of the underground crop box too, so we'll see what happens there. I probably won't report on it until the end of the season, because what I'm really interested in seeing is how the tomatoes and peppers do. Now, the tomatoes, I planted tomato seeds about 10 days ago, and they actually all germinated overnight. Pepper seeds have not yet, but peppers seem to like a lot warmer ground before they actually do. So it could be a little while before I'm seeing any peppers come up. I won't actually plant them until probably mid-April on the tomatoes, maybe even 1st of May on peppers. And I've got some onion seeds that I went ahead and planted too, and I will end up planting them in my kind of little alternate garden where I have gardened the past couple years. See if anything happens with them. I never water that area, so it'll be interesting to see if I get any production. I appreciate that you were here with me today, and I hope we can learn something together. See you on the next one. Bye.